तुम्हारे no koto dinahi na jane.
तुम्हारे को दीनाही न जाने
Korile na bhava pa.
Korile na bhava para
Emona durmaki samsara vitore odiya chinu ami.
Emona durmati samsara vitore odiya chinu ami.
Vedera pratijna raki bharatare.
Vedera prasidya raki bharatare.
Rukmavana viprasuta.
Rukmavana viprasuta.
Mahaprabhu name nadiya mataya.
Mahaprabhu name nadiya mataya.
Sange bhaya vajuta. Emona durmati samsara vitore odiya chinu ami.
Emona durmati samsara vitore odiya chinu ami.
Nanda Sutta Jini Chaitanya Gosai.
Nanda Sutta Jini Chaitanya Gosai.
Nijanama Korida.
Nijanama Korida.
Harilo Jagat Tumiyo Jaya.
Harilo Jagata Tumiyo Jaya.
Rohoni Japarita.
Rohoni Japarita.
Emona Durmati Samsara Vitore odiya chinu ami.
Emona Durmati Samsara Vitore odiya chinu ami.
Sekata Shuniya Asiya Chinata.
Ekata Suniya Asiya Chinata.
Tomara Chanatare.
Tomara Charanataye.
Bhagati Vinoda Kandiya Kandiya.
Bhakti Vinoda Kandiya Kandiya.
Apana Karini Bore.
Apana Karini Bore.
Emona Durmati Samsara Vitore odiya chinu ami.
Emona Durmati Samsara Vitore odiya chinu ami.
Savanija Jan Kunumajane.
Savanija Jan Kunumajane.
Pataya Dile Tumi.
Pataya Dile Tumi.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Thank you for accompanying with the instruments. Sorry, I didn't notice it was a 2-beat bhajan, so I could not do anything when it was started. Still, thank you for helping as much as you could. Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Deta Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Deta Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Govinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Panchatattvaki.
Jaya.
So we are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, chapter 10, and verse 61 and 62. We will read together the 62nd, you can recite. Is it okay like this? You can read?
Yes. Normally. Yeah.
Shivanandera Upashaka Tanra Parikara
Shivanandera Upashaka Parikara.
Putra Biti Adhikari Chaitanya Kinkara.
Putra Viti Adhikari Chaitanya Kinkara.
Translation. The sons, servants, and family members of Shivananda Sen constituted a sub-branch. They were all sincere servants of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 62. Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura
Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura.
Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura
Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura.
Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura
Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura.
Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura
Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura.
Bhakta Shura
Chaitanya Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura. Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura. Chaitanya Das Arakana Pura. Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura.
Dina Putra Shivananda Bhakta Shura
Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura. Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura. Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura. Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura. Chaitanya Das Ramadas Arakana Pura. Dina Putra Shivananda Prabhu Bhakta Shura.
Word for word. Chaitanya Das
Chaitanya Das.
Chaitanya Das,
Chaitanya Das.
Ramadas,
Ramadas.
Ramadas,
Ramadas.
Ara,
Ara.
and
And
Karnapura,
Karnapura.
Karnapura, Tinaputra,
Vinaputra.
3 sons,
Three sons.
Shivanandera
Shivanandera.
of Shivananda Sen,
Shivananda.
Prabhura
Prabhupada.
of the Lord,
Of the Lord.
Bhaktasura
Bhaktasura.
of the heroic devotee. The 3 sons of Shivananda Sen, named Chaitanya Das, Ramadas, and Karnapura, were all heroic devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charan Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Nitai Sachisuta ki jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharaj ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Parisisvara ki jai. So purport. Chaitanya Das, the eldest son of Shivananda Sen, wrote a commentary on Krishna Karanamrita, which was later translated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his paper Sajjana Toshani. According to expert opinion, Chaitanya Das was the author of the book Chaitanya Charita, which was written in Sanskrit. The author was not Kavikarnapura as generally supposed. This is the opinion of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Sri Ramadas was the second son of Shivananda Sen. It is stated in the Gaura Ganodesha Dipika 145 that 2 experienced servants of Lord Krishna named Shuka and Daksha in Krishna Lila became the elder brothers of Kavi Karnapura, namely Chaitanya Das and Ramadas. Karnapura, the third son, who was also known as Paramananda Das or Puri Das, was initiated by Srinath Pandit, who was a disciple of Sri Advaita Prabhu. Karnapura wrote many books that are important in Vaishnava literature, such as Ananda Vrindavan Champu, Alankara Kaustuba, Gaura Ganodesha Dipika, and the great epic Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. He was born in the year 1448, Shakabda. He continually wrote books for 10 years, from 1488 to until 1498. Om Ajnanatimidam Dasya Jnananjana Shilakaya Chakshurun Vilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutare Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalonastye Vanastye, Vanastye Vagatiranyata. So we read again the verse 62. The three sons of Shivananda Sen, named Chaitanya Das, Ramadas, and Karnapura, were all heroic devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Of course, before starting to share some reflections that came after reading these verses, I would humbly request your benedictions to be able to share palatable thoughts in line of our Guru Parampara, and hopefully inspiring all of us to go deeper in our Krishna consciousness. When I start to meditate on the verse, after yesterday's, I understood that I was about to talk about this verse. I felt, but I'm such an insignificant insect in front of this ocean of nectar of Chaitanya Charitamrita. What can I say more than what is written here? And yeah, it was this feeling of being very humbled by this wonderful scripture, the highest topic of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, accessible to us right here in these books. And yeah, I understood a little more about the depth of this book by reading about Shivananda Sen and about his sons. Before, meditating on this verse, I didn't know anything about the son of Shivananda Sen. Still, I feel I don't know much about them, but we can at least go on surface, try to see what is available, and with the blessings of the Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, let's see what will come out. So again, I request your blessings. So let me share this differently. Yeah. Is it working like that? Yeah, you can see the verse and I can see my notes.
No, it's still. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So initially, I wanted to speak about sincerity of devotees because it is mentioned in the verse 61. But somehow, when I started to prepare, I started with verse 62, and so I thought, oh, maybe it's a mistake from me. It's not about sincerity; it's about heroism. So today we'll speak about heroism, and it's quite relevant actually because we are after the Srila Prabhupada book marathon, and we could see how Prabhupada manifested in the French Yatra so many heroes to distribute this transcendental literature. Today in New Mayapur Dham, they are celebrating this Sankirtan festival, and Jananda Maharaj and many of the book distributors of the past months will be there relishing the book scores, the stories, relishing how Prabhupada manifested through the devotees, empowered them to distribute so many books. And not only distributing a quantity of books, but trying also sincerely to bring people to Krishna consciousness. Because book distribution is not only a matter of quantity, it has an impact, like we chant some amount of rounds, also quantity is important. But the deeper we go, more we understand that quality is also required. And both goes hand in hand, because the more you do quality, it will improve your quality. But you also have to make effort during the chanting to bring quality, meanings, to bring consciousness, to mean what you are chanting, right? So in the same way, book distribution is also about not forgetting the goal of book distribution, which is to make devotees, to bring people closer to Krishna, to make them read the book. So to inspire them to read the book, not only to find any trick to give them the book and they will pay. That's okay. Krishna has some plans, and we know some stories where devotees got the book from garbages, from some member family who had the Bhagavad Gita on the shelf for so many years. You know, this works, that's for sure. But for our own purification and for the sake of spreading these movements right now, we also have to understand that it is important to inspire devotees to read it, newcomers to read these books, and not to wait too long. Our lifespan in Kali Yuga is so short, and it's valid for everyone. So let's try to give them right now what is already accessible to us. So in that regard, yeah, we have to find what is the way that people will accept these Bhagavad Gita teachings. Like when Prabhupada was aboard of Jaladuta, he was praying, but I'm going there in the West. How can they accept this philosophy? But Krishna, if you wish so, then you can make it accessible for them, right? So we should be in the same way feeling powerless to do it ourselves, but require the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, of our Guru Parampara, of Sri Krishna to inspire them, to kindle in their hearts the desire to get more understanding of Krishna. In these verses, so we'll talk about heroism a little bit later. Why? Because the three sons of Shivananda Sen are heroes. And what is a hero? Should I start with that? What is a hero? A hero is a person who is admired by others. Why he's admired? Because he has some specific quality. He has done something great for humanity, for the world in general. Coming back to book distributors, yeah, they are participating to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. This is such a wonderful act of heroism. And here, the three sons of Shivananda Sen also have done something great for the world. Just already being, for Shivananda Sen, an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is already like something special, isn't it? So his three sons also had association with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And not only they had the association, but later on they wrote some literatures. And for instance, Chaitanya Das, the first son of Shivananda Sen, wrote the Chaitanya Charita. And it's about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. He also wrote a commentary on Krishna Karanamrita, a book of Bilvamangala Thakur. And actually this book is one of the favorite books of Lord Chaitanya. And his personal associate, Swarup Damodar Goswami, was quite often reciting some extract of this book to please Lord Chaitanya. And it's considered to be a wonderful poetry book, unparalleled with other literatures. So it's a great reference in our Vaishnava tradition. I personally didn't read it, but I'm sharing what I heard about the glories of this book. And so Swarup Damodar Goswami, in the later pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri, was reciting some verses of this wonderful literature. One more element about Chaitanya Das. I cannot say more than what Patitapavan Prabhu yesterday shared about him. But one thing that is mentioned in the purport, if I'm correct, is that Chaitanya Das was one of the many transcendental parrots in Vrindavan in Krishna Lila. He is Shuka, the parrot Shuka in Krishna Lila, and we can understand from this, being a transcendental parrot in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, that he has a specific purpose of spreading the glories of the divine couple. And so in Gaura Lila, he took this responsibility of sharing Chaitanya Charita, these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Then about Ramadas, his associate, let's say, his brother. So just after Chaitanya Das was Ramadas in the lineage of Shivananda Sen. And he was also having he has this sort of a parrot, being Vichakshana or Daksha. I'm saying both because, and that's why also I was reading both from the screen and from the book, because in the book it is written about Daksha, and when I tried to find on internet something, it was not Daksha, it was Vishakshana. So I guess both are connected. But in Gaura Ganodesha Dipika, we found that Ramadas was Vishakshana. This is written like this. And we can focus a little more today about the third and youngest son of Shivananda Sen, who has 3 names. So when he was born, the parents, Shivananda Sen, gave the name Paramananda Sena. And then he received directly from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 2 other names. First, he received the name Puridas. He received the name Puridas after his parents. You know, one seva of Shivananda Sen was to bring devotees from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri once a year for the Ratha Yatra. And he was, paying everything for devotees to join there once a year for this great festival. Soon in France, like in everywhere, every part of the world, we also have Ratha Yatra, and we know how it is such an important festival for Krishna consciousness to spread all over the world. Prabhupada wanted that in every city, as much as possible, there would be a Ratha Yatra. It's such a powerful event, powerful samskaras for people. And I remember meeting some French people who tell me, oh yeah, I remember, I discovered first time this festival, it was long years ago. Didn't know anything. But I remember how it was nice prasadam, nice kirtans. Wow, such a blissful atmosphere. So each year I come back to see about Lord Jagannath in Paris. Amazing. And so they walk, they have to understand that there was no train, there was not such nice transportation back then. So the walking from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri was taking how long?
1 month.
1 month, exactly. 1 month. 1 month of walk, definitely a monk pilgrimage. But yeah, 1 month it took to reach Jagannath Puri. So they were totally exhausted. But after that, Shivananda Sen got the darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and was feeling so much bliss that he forgot all the trip, all the exhaustion, just by having a glance of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya saw that there was a young boy, and he wanted to ask, what is the name of this young boy? And so they explained, Paramananda Sen. Okay. And mother, do you remember the wife of Shivananda Sen? I can't. Never mind. I will find out later. So she brought Paramananda Sena, the youngest boy, to the feet of Lord Chaitanya for getting the blessings. And by seeing the lotus feet that were pink, the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya were pinkish, this color. And you can see here on the sole of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, it's pinkish color, right? And the baby was so attracted he wanted to somehow catch them, or like any baby, he want to put in his mouth, and Lord Chaitanya, grated, like helped the child to get his lotus feet, and so the baby could just take the lotus feet of the Lord in his mouth. And from this day, Lord Chaitanya decided to call him Puridas. And this is how Lord Chaitanya gave him this name. And later on, all the devotees seeing this scene, they were, starting a kirtan, glorifying the Lord and this wonderful pastime. And after that, the Lord ordered his devotees that while they are here with the family, Shivananda Sen and his family, they should receive in Nilachal all the Mahaprabhu's remnants every day. And after the festival, Shivananda Sen went back home. Once connected with another name of Puridas or Paramananda Sena, is the name that is most known to us, Kavi Karnapura. Kavi means a poet, right? And Karnapura means actually ears, and pura means satiation. Because once there was a pastime where Puridas, he became in contact with Lord Chaitanya, and he recited a verse explaining about the glories of Sri Hare, how he had blue lotus-like eyes anointed with balm. And reciting this verse was most satiating for all the devotees around and Lord Chaitanya himself, that he decided to call him Kavi Karnapura, because he's able to bring satiation to the ears just by speaking some verses. So we understand what a great contribution these devotees, these exalted personalities brought to us by pleasing so nicely Lord Chaitanya. And after that, he wrote different books. I can only mention their names. There is, for instance, Sri Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka, Sri Ananda Vrindavan Champu that were mentioned in the purport, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Mahakavya, and Sri Gaura Ganadesha Deepika. This one we might know more because now that we're in the 10th chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's all about the associates of Lord Chaitanya, the branch and sub-branches. And each of them has, his name mentioned in the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, because this book helps to connect Gaura Lila and Krishna Lila. So every associate of Lord Chaitanya has a pastime, a function in Krishna Lila also, as his eternal service to the divine couple. So that's how we know a little more about this book. And definitely, devotees, personalities who wrote books, like the 6 Goswamis, all our Guru Parampara almost wrote some literature for our benefit. So definitely they have left for us a great gift, treasure. It's a wonderful contribution for us to get closer to Krishna. And that's why they are mentioned as heroes. Heroes is not only one who wants a battle on the battlefield or who has superpower like a Superman or Spider-Man or whatever. No, these are, karmic heroes. They don't bring much to the world. Some heroes today, they are just, killing a demon, and then they are doing all nonsense activities. They go with so many women, enjoy because they beat this or that demon. Yeah, and so what? Do you solve the problems of life, birth, death, old age, and disease? You may yourself have superpowers, but what about others? Do you empower them? Do you help them to go over their lives? Not much. So the real heroes are the devotees, because they can relieve anyone from this material world, connect them with their spiritual nature. And in connection to that, because it is mentioned about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in this purport, I was trying to understand why Prabhupada mentioned about Bhaktivinoda Thakur especially. Actually, it is said that Shivananda Sen is the embodiment of Lord. The embodiment of love towards Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, if we remember his how do you call it? His pranams. It is an embodiment of the energy of Lord Chaitanya. So his pranam goes like this: Namo Bhaktivinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gora Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sachidananda Bhaktivinod, who is transcendental energy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a strict follower of the Goswamis, headed by Sri Rupa. So we can see so many parallel with Kavikarna Pura. First one is that he also wrote so many books. Do you have an idea of how many books Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote? How many? How many? 100 books he wrote. He compiled how many songs? 400. You know? Around, okay? 100 books, 400 songs. This is such a contribution. So, how often do we sing some bhajans of Bhaktivinoda Thakur? How many wonderful literatures left? So, yeah, this is definitely a great hero for us, and maybe more close to us. Why so close to us? Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a Grihastha. You know, there is difference between Guru and Acharya. This difference is just to understand that in spiritual world, it's not that Guru is less important than Acharya. No, it's just to understand that Acharya has an even more contribution. Like Guru is able to take care of, to make disciples in this generation, in this present time. And an Acharya, like Srila Prabhupada, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like our Acharyas, they are able to make disciples throughout generations and to make themselves some gurus that will have disciples. This is the power of an Acharya. Another power of an Acharya is that the teaching of an Acharya, they are accepting by several generations, not only for the present time, but for next generations. It is said that Prabhupada's teachings will be accepted for the next 10,000 years, isn't it? So this is the power of an Acharya. Guru can protect his disciples. An Acharya can protect a whole sampradaya. And each Acharya have a specific empowerment, you know. Prabhupada, what is the empowerment of Srila Prabhupada? In his pranam mantra, it is said that he came to deliver the Western world. This is his specific empowerment. We can think of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, who was empowered to, you know, destroy or fight against the deviant philosophies, and especially the Apasampradayas. You know, he was very strong. He was such a intellectual and shastric based Acharya. What about Gorakishora Das Babaji, who is the embodiment of renunciation? His life is an embodiment of renunciation. And about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, for our age, when we are quite used to see devotees working, having family life, having so many duties in this life, Bhaktivinoda Thakur shows us that it is possible to have these so many duties in your life, but still to become a Paramahamsa. This is what he brought. He brought many other things also, but for today we focus on this one. And so he allows us to to get hope that it is possible for us also to maybe not to become a Paramahansa, not an Acharya, but to go towards Krishna, to make it possible. And we know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it is mentioned in this verse, wrote this Sajjanatoshani. Sajjanatoshani means that which satisfies the Sajjana, which means the great sages.
I guess it was harmonist.
In the here it is mentioned Sajjanatoshani. You mean the translation of Sajjanatoshani would be harmonist, yeah?
I guess so.
I can't say, isn't it? Harmonist was Bhaktisiddhanta. Yeah, and now it's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So, do you have any confirmation on that? Harmonist is Bhaktisiddhanta. Okay, we'll check later on. So, the translation of this Sajjanatoshani, which was the magazine of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, is that which satisfies the Sajjanas. And this magazine, he said himself, is to help, to discuss the statements that helps to understand our eternal dharma. No, not just our temporary duties, this material plane, but our eternal dharma towards the Lord. And so he wrote profuse literature, and if I remember, it was the first one to send in the West some books translated in English. I think he sent in the West Teachings and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya as the first book in English to US universities. And so we may wonder ourselves how to become heroes in this modern time, modern life. It looks, Bhaktivinoda Thakur made it, but we are not acharyas like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We are simple sadhakas. But still, there is hope. And the process and the example given is that, we can connect our work, our activities with Krishna. And there are, 4 ways to practice the real karma yoga, the karma yoga that will connect us with Krishna. The first thing we can think of is to have a righteous work, to try to think how I can contribute to the society in general. We may not be able to be full-time devotees in a temple and sustain our family life like this. So we have to find an activity in the society that will, help us to keep our Krishna conscious life, to sustain the family, and connect this job by, finding an activity not connected with meat eating, for instance. Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself was a lawyer. So he was dealing with so many cases in such an efficient time. I listened recently that he was able to do the 10 hours job of someone in 5-6 minutes. He was so efficient in his job. So efficient that the British back then, they just built a railway station just in front of his house so that he doesn't lose any minutes to get to work. Can you imagine? Yeah, a railway just in front of your house, just because you go to work, you are so efficient at your work and they want you to not lose time. Can you imagine? It's inconceivable. Will someone build a metro station? Then another aspect, there are 4 aspects. So we talk about righteous work. The second aspect is that we use the fruits. Use the fruits of this work, be it Lakshmi, be it reputation, skills for Krishna's service. This is very important, and we can definitely engage the capacities we got at work in Krishna's service. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how he did that? Being a lawyer, he used his reputation of a lawyer to one time deal with a yogi who pretended to be an avatar of Vishnu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to see him in the forest and not chastised, but challenged him. And they put him to jail, this yogi, at the end. When he was in jail, because this is the contribution. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we talked about Bhaktisiddhanta, who was fighting about apas and pradayas and so on, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur also had some cases to deal with. And this yogi was pretending to be an avatar, and for the sake of Krishna, that he doesn't, this yogi, deviate so many people, he decided to take legal case on him. So they put him to jail. But because he was a real yogi who had mystic powers, like he was a mystical yogi, not a real yogi, but a mystical yogi, so he could, give some curses. And when he was in jail, he cursed Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family just before the judgment came, so that all the family started to become sick because of him, close to death even. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't compromise. He wanted to go till the end. And so courageous he was, he went to the judgment and they defeated him, this yogi. How did they do that? It happened that when he was, this yogi, attending the judgment, they just cut his hair. Because all the powers of the mystic yogis are quite often in the hair. So they cut the hair and he lost all his mystic powers. And then it was finished for him. So he used his reputation for that. Likewise, we can use maybe the money we win at work, we earn at work, to bring it and help the temple, to bring it at home and make our home a temple. This is also most valuable if your home becomes a temple for Krishna's service, because it means everything you are doing in your home becomes an activity with Krishna in the center. Then the third aspect is that every spare time we have outside of our work, we should use it for Krishna's service. It may be 1 minute, 3 hours, 1 day, half a day, whatever. Use it for Krishna. In this way, you can also be aligned with the real karma yoga, the yoga that connects you with Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you may all know about his sadhana or have some remembrance. He was going to bed at 7:30. He was sleeping till what time? 12, 10. He was sleeping till 10. From 10 to 4:30, to 4, he was writing books. He was writing for 6 hours like this. Then he was starting japa till 7:30. Then having the nap, then having a small breakfast of 30 minutes, then go to work, coming back for lunch, take a rest, go back. And
staying near Mayapur, jogging Calcutta, train.
Yes,
myself, train.
So for devotees, there is not a minute, a second to waste. Should try to always be connected with Krishna. And the easiest way to do it, easy. Let's say always accessible way is to chant the holy name. We can always chant theoretically. Hare Krishna. Thank you for reminding us to chant. We can always do it. It's always accessible. We might not remember it, unfortunately, but this is how we can always be, connected with Krishna. And the last element of these 4 advice to practice real karma yoga is to remember Krishna. Doing things is one thing, but to remember Krishna while doing it is another thing. So how can we remember Krishna? How can we be remembered to chant throughout the whole day, throughout our activities? Is by having a strong sadhana. The sadhana is crucial in our life to keep, especially if we engage in the satsang. We definitely need to be so strong in our sadhana to keep remembering Krishna throughout the whole day. And throughout any situation, be it a problem, a very good news, to always be able to see Krishna behind. Sometimes it's happened when I'm quite weak in sadhana that I go to work and I see, but there is this problem and that problem. I don't connect it with Krishna. I'm not wondering, but why Krishna sent me this situation? No, it's unfair, Krishna. Why you send me this? This is the state of mind that can happen. And it's not elevating our consciousness much. So with a strong sadhana, morning program in the temple, then we can more easily keep this focus on Krishna throughout the day. It's like building the roots for our day. It's 9:02. Sorry for going over time. Please, if you have any comments, corrections, questions, the place is for you. All right. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Jai.
Shivananda Sen ki
Jai.
Chaitanya Das Ramadas Kavikanapur ki
Jai.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Good heroes need a good breakfast because an army works on his belly. So if you want to be good soldiers of Lord Chaitanya, good heroes, you have to get a good prasadam.